Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Women Unleashed podcast. I am your co-host, Taylor, and we have Britt here today. And today we're going to be talking about making decisions or not making decisions. It's a topic that Britt and I have been probably grappling with for a week or two now. And we wanted to talk about it on the podcast because, we like to confront ourselves constantly, apparently.
Yay, so much fun.
Yes, so we're going to talk about that, and we thought to begin we might do like a little life update about what we're up to and things like that, like a check-in. So Britt, do you want to take it away? What do you want to share?
Yeah, for sure. And I just realized like the recording frequency we're on, this is going to be uploaded Thursday this week. So, like this stuff is so relevant. Right, what I've been up to is the launch party for Art of Gaslighting. My fiance Nathan released his book on the 31st of August, and I have been organizing the launch party, and it has been so much fun. Like, I really enjoy creating all the, using Canva, and creating all the flyers and distributing the flyers and inviting people. And today there was 2 people that bought tickets who neither of us know, which is cool.
That is cool.
So I think there's probably now maybe between more than 5, less than 10 people coming that we absolutely don't know. And then a good 30 people that we do. So yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, that is super exciting.
And anyone who's listening to this on Thursday or Friday, the launch party for the Art of Gaslighting is at 7 p.m. on Friday night, the 27th of September, in Wollongabba. And in the show notes, we will put the link for you to buy a ticket.
Yes, we will. So exciting. So excited for you guys. Very cool. He wrote a damn book.
Yes.
It's just amazing.
And you'll be there too, Taylor. And
yes, I
you're
will.
mentioned on the book, on the blurb, because you reviewed the book.
I did. I was one of the ARC readers, which was very, very. I've lost the word I wanted to use. Made me feel great about myself and very privileged to have the opportunity to read that. So, yeah, very cool. Yeah. Very, very cool. I love that.
Awesome. And what have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Lots of spending time with Sophia. And we went to White Ridge Farm today, which is friggin' awesome. It's so fun. It's like a little petting zoo. She loves it. And I've been doing lots.
Do you go there often, or is that the first time?
No, we've been there a few times. We've actually got an annual pass now, because we go. Both Will and I have an annual pass, and she's free. So
cool.
we've been there quite a few, like more than enough to kind of cover the annual pass. So works out well. That was today, but yeah, lots of reading and book reviews, and I love that. It's so fun. I love all my book reviews, so it's really cool. I do it on Instagram, and I've made like a whole bunch of friends who love reading as well. We have like a book club, and it's just really cool. I'm actually reading this book at the moment that is like a little bit like Criminal Minds. I don't know if you've ever watched that show where they do profiling on serial killers.
Yeah. Yep. I think I watched it a lot. It's like an old show, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, this has like that vibe. So it's really, I'm like enjoying it. I don't normally read books like this. It's called like a dark romance, and I really like it. It's very good.
Oh, you're expanding your romantic genre horizons.
Yes. Anyway,
that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Anyway, so should we get into the topic?
Oh, why not?
Yes. Decisions, whether we make our own decisions. That was something you brought to my attention that you discovered in your own life.
Yes. So how I saw it was I was engaging. I had a story that I just want a man to look after me and tell me what to do, and to drive that to achieve that outcome, because Nathan I don't need looking after. Nathan doesn't need to look after me, and he certainly does not like telling me what to do. So I behave in a way to make him have to do it.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of things that I will do that are just really unworkable. And one of the things that came out of that was to get him to tell me what to do. I will be indecisive about the simplest things. Or even if I have an answer or a recommendation or a decision, I will say, what do you think about this? Da, 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 and put my decision in there, but broach it as a, what do you think about this? Rather than, I think we should do da, 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 da. What do you think we should do?
Yeah, right. So not even giving your opinion first. Just saying, what do you think we should do on the topic, rather than going, this is my point of view first, and then get you their point of view. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
And it happened at dinner tonight, and I caught myself and I reworded it. There was we were having seafood for dinner.
Oh, yum.
And yes, always yummy. There was a piece of tuna steak and
fancy
some kind of fish left, one piece each. And I said to Nathan, would you like to go halves in that? And so we could each have some of each.
Yeah.
And then I was like, sorry, I would like half of that. Would you like to go halves in both of that with me? So just simple things about being decisive.
Yeah.
In my communication.
Like showing what you would like, what you want.
Saying, this is what I would like. Would you like it? Rather than putting the decision on them. Oh, would you like to do that? Because I'll go along with it if you would. But if he says no, then I'm kind of like, oh, rather than communicating what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I did it last night with eggs, because they were expired but a couple of days, and I didn't know if, you know how sometimes you can push food, some certain things out, you can be it's a best before date, not an expiry date. And I didn't know.
But have you seen how long the expiry date is on eggs?
Yeah, it's ages. We just haven't been eating them.
Yeah, I know. That's what
eating them.
So when it's out of date, I get really I can't see what's in that inside. How the fuck? Yeah, how do I know? And it's so long. If I I'm an absolute no.
Yeah, I was a no, but I was questioning my no. I was like, oh, but what if I'm wasting it? There's a few eggs in here. What a waste. And would he do that? You know, I question my own no. And then I just get all fucked up about it over fucking eggs. And then I asked him and he goes, yeah, I would throw them out. And I'm like, oh, good. I'm glad you agree. So I'm looking for agreement on things as well, you know? So I don't want to pave my own way or whatever it is.
I think it's a fear of looking bad, getting it wrong.
Yeah, I was just saying, I just wanted his agreement on it. I already had a no in my mind.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, but what if it's wrong? You know, what if it's a wrong answer?
Yeah.
What if I don't actually know? What if I don't know? So, you know?
You might look silly.
I don't actually know. Yeah, I might look silly. And no one actually, I know there's an expiry date, but, you know, there's, certain things you can go a little bit over with. So I'm like, what if I don't know the rules? I don't know the rules on eggs. No one sat me down and gone this. You know, this wasn't taught in school. Okay, that's the egg thing is it could be anything, right? But that's what I mean. Sometimes I don't know how to adult. No one teaches you stuff. Sometimes you gotta learn on a whim.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. This is so
but I would just like to confirm with everyone, we threw the eggs away.
Throwing the eggs out. Do you know why I throw the eggs out? And it's not
Please
because...
enlighten me.
Did you say enlighten me or learn me?
Yeah. No, enlighten me.
Okay, great. Well, I'm going to learn you too. Is because because I don't do this with everything. I don't believe in the use by date.
No.
I can't smell it, and I
Mm.
certainly can't taste it. I'm not going to taste a raw egg.
No.
Like, I've drunk raw eggs before, and they're not
Mm.
that great. So,
Ugh.
like, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, and what am I going
Can't
to
test it.
Yeah, am I going to sit there and crack every 12 eggs, and then what am I going to do with all 12 eggs if they're okay? And I only
Yeah,
needed one.
exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And my other thought was like eggs can be very sickly, like salmonella. You know, it's like chicken that you don't cook properly. That was
exactly.
the reason I decided to veto the eggs.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're a little bit off topic here. The eggs are not the thing. It's the principle behind making the decision.
The decision, because
That's
you
the
didn't want to
thing.
look silly by not.
And I didn't want to waste. And I thought I was being so wasteful because we hadn't used them yet. So I felt like, you know,
Yeah.
being
But
wasteful. Or at least if Will agreed, then I was like, okay, well, we're both agreeing on wasting it. So I don't have to feel so bad.
yeah, you gotta, like, you don't want to take responsibility for wasting the eggs.
For wasting the eggs.
Oh my gosh. So instead of like just dying on the stake for the eggs, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna share the steakness with
Yeah, I know,
Will.
over fucking eggs. But though, that point, right? This egg point is so minuscule, yet like if I can't make a fucking decision on eggs, then that just is, you know, exasperated when they're bigger decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like if I can't even make a decision on expired eggs, we've got a fucking problem.
Yeah.
So
it just shows you like it's just happening with really, really simple things. And so it must be happening everywhere.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Yay for Tay-Tay.
Yay.
Yay. I love this. I love learning about myself.
So much fun. Look, you know, like,
no, it's good.
Yeah, but don't be too hard on yourself, because I did it with the tuna steak tonight, and I caught it and reworded it, and I'm just going to have to keep catching it. Even when I write messages going, you know, oh, what do you think about this? And then no. At least I can write it and then backspace it and then rewrite it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I sent you a message like this tonight about this meme that I saw about decisions. Did you see that?
No. Where did you send it to? My phone? Obviously my phone.
Messenger?
Messenger. Okay, I'll have
You're not sure whether I could have sent it to your phone? Do you want to make a decision?
No, that was the wrong word. I meant like app, you know, like what system?
Yes.
Because there's so many ways to message.
It's called a platform, Tay-Tay.
Well, no one sat me down and no I'm joking.
So the quote is, more is lost by indecision than wrong decision. Marcus Tullius Cicero?
Fancy.
Cicero? I think I've heard that in a philosophy book somewhere.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, people don't get that indecision is a decision.
Yes.
Like, our decision is a decision. No decision is a decision. Indecision is no decision. Which is a decision.
Yeah, it is. Not doing anything is still doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also, I've also heard like the thing, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Like if you're not a hell yeah about something, then it's a no. That's another one I've heard in like, you know, this like out there in the world.
I think the context for that one is important, because like when business decisions, like analyzing to buy or sell a business or value something, like there's no like until you do the numbers and review the business and all of that, like you can't, I wouldn't bring it into that. I would bring like the fuck yes is if I try a dress on and I'm like, fuck yeah, that looks good. If it's not a fuck then I won't buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's good too. I think the context on that one's more important.
Yeah, because like you weren't a fuck yeah about the eggs, were you?
No. I'm just like so embarrassed now that I can't even figure out how to fucking throw out eggs. but it just highlights the
No, it's not that you couldn't figure it out. You just didn't back yourself. You just didn't trust yourself. It's a
yeah.
lack of trust in oneself, a lack of
Yes.
belief in oneself is indecision and
Yes.
wanting to look good. Like, who cares if you got it wrong? The next wrong answer is going to lead you to the next right answer. Like, that's how I see it. Okay, I've made 5 wrong answers today. If statistics are anything to go by, I'm probably going to get a right one soon.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Doesn't always have to be a big deal.
So, what is the experience in your body when you are indecisive?
Ooh, good question. I just feel like really stuck. Like it's like I don't even know if that's really a body. Like I don't know if I'm connected enough to like know if my, like I'm like my eye twitches or like my hands shake or something. Like I don't know if I'm connected enough to notice like that sort of reaction. But it's more my mind's just on overdrive and I'm nearly paralyzed. Like it's like
Okay.
like that kind of feeling like you're just in limbo. Like I can't, like I get so far like confused by the whole thing that
Yeah.
I'm like all anxious about the answer, and over eggs too. Like that, I know that's such a minuscule thing, but when
Yeah.
I'm so indecisive, it's like that kind of like anxious. Like, fuck, I got to make a decision here, and I don't know the answer.
Yeah. So you know those wheels, where it's like spin the wheel and win a prize, like based on what it, the little ticker thing lands on.
Yeah.
It's like that's what happens. Like you know the answer, and then you spin it, and then you're like, you're all spun out by it, and you're like
Yeah.
anxious and kind of like losing time. Like time's not even a concept to you, and it just just like half an hour later, you're like still in the kitchen looking at the fucking eggs, and you're like,
Yeah. Yeah,
what's
even
going
if I'm
on
doing
here?
something else, I'm like still thinking about the fucking eggs or whatever the decision that needs to be made. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's still
Yeah.
like, and then I question, so this isn't just for eggs, this is for other things, like when I rate a book. Then I question myself because I'm like, was that the correct? You know what I mean? Like once I make a decision, then I rethink that decision and I question whether that decision was right. It's really fucking fun
Even
time.
after you've done the decision.
Yes.
Okay.
Do
And
you do that?
I don't
I'm
rate
just swimming
books.
out here and
No, like,
but you have to review them, right? You have to review them, and we don't have to, but I
sorry,
review them and
I
I
don't
give them a
review
rating.
books. Yeah. I'm just trying to think like where would that happen elsewhere in my life. Just looking.
What about with your businesses? Could be
Well,
decisions you have to make.
the thing that came up about reviews is I usually leave Google reviews for like restaurants or venues, or especially while I'm traveling.
Yeah.
And when I'm leaving the review, I'm a bit like, oh, is it a this star or a that star? And only if rarely do I give negative reviews. It's got to be like really awful for me to give a negative review. I will question after I've given the negative review, like, was I too hard on that person? But not after a positive one. I don't go, oh, I gave him a 5-star. Was it really 4? Like, I don't think about that afterwards.
Yeah, well, I do that a little bit now that I've been reading more because I'm like, oh, like this is really a 5-star. Like some of the books I've read previously probably wouldn't be a 5-star now.
Yeah.
You know, because I've like read a next level book that I'm like, damn, this is fucking
set
where it's at.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
the thing
this has
is,
set the tone.
like at that point in time, when you rated the book in your context, it was a 5. Now you have a slightly different context, a bigger context or a view. Then it's like it was a valid 5 when you gave it a 5. And then when you gave the next book a 5, it's a valid 5 based on where you're at now.
Yeah, my new learnings. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm just like, I can hear
Sorry.
something
There's a
beeping.
foot massager under me and I accidentally pressed the button. Apologies.
Do you massage your feet while we're on the podcast?
No, 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 no. No,
Oh,
not
that
on the
would have been
podcast. It'd be
cool.
too noisy.
Oh,
It's too
okay.
noisy. Yeah. But it feels good. Will bought it for me when I was pregnant. Because my
Oh,
feet were
awesome.
like, yeah, it was a good gift.
They were like
And then
mini
he kind of
whales.
took over it. Yeah, they were mini. They're like floaties. Like flippers. That's what I'm looking for.
Flippers.
My own personal flippers.
So funny. Yeah, I'm just like, there are decisions that I don't want to make. I can't think of in the businesses. I can't think of ones where I've made a decision and I've like thought about it that much afterwards, because the decisions I'm making are ones that like move us forward. Like, do we do this option or that option? Do we take this action or that action? And once we've taken it, we're then presented with like the next few choices to make. So I don't think I dwell on whether the one like 2 steps ago was right or not.
That's good.
Thanks. Yeah. But there's this decision that I've got to make about going to Riyadh Riyadh in like the UAE or something before we go to Bali. And there's like this big horse event on there. And I can't really work out whether it's just me being confronted and not taking the action to go, or I don't really want to go because I don't think there's going to be much to do for us outside of the horse event. So it could be like, maybe it's not the best time for us to travel there because we want to save money, and it like we won't enjoy it as much as if we were like going on a bigger, more lavish kind of holiday there. So I'm like, look, it's not really worth the time. We've got other things on. But I think it's because it's just not going to, like, the vibe isn't going to be like other horse events that we've been to because of the location and the style of event that it is. So I think that's what it is. But I'm like, I can't make this call because I don't have enough information. And only tonight was I like, okay, I think I've got to call people who might know about this event and have been to it before and go, okay, like, what's the vibe like, in the trade village? Is there much going on, or is it just really a show for the riders and the owners, and they just, sit in the VIP all day and go back to their 5-star hotel, whereas like a 4-star hotel is about $400 a night over there, and you can get a really nice Airbnb for $400 a week. So it's a very big like experience difference. So
but I guess is it important for your professional horse show jumping journey? That's probably the biggest like part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, is it the best opportunity? Like, if you don't go, would it be detrimental to your professional?
It wouldn't be detrimental,
professionalism?
And yeah, it certainly wouldn't detract or take away from what I am currently. I'm just not sure how much upside there would be. That's actually a really great question. Yeah, like how much upside could there be? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to answer, I think. So
that would be what would call me into doing something. Is it going to get my business forward, or is it going to, like, if I don't go, what's the because the holiday and all that stuff's really like a nice thing, but I guess the point of going would be because you want to advance your career.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Okay.
just my take. Well, that's what my take
Yeah.
is. Oh, I'm
See.
much better at it for you than for me.
Yeah.
Jeez.
See. This is good.
Hmm.
um.
I can't throw out eggs, but I can give you that.
Yeah. No. Like. Well, maybe this is something that we can give the people that are listening. Like, okay, if you can't work out why you can't make a decision, like I just got from you, it's the thing, like a lens that I could be looking at it is like, okay, well, like, is it going to be detrimental to my business or not, or how much value is it going to add? And the question I'm trying to
Mm.
answer is this going to add the value that I place, like that I am monetarily spending, and am I going to get that investment back, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
that's what I'm trying to answer. Okay, I'll think about it like that.
Cool. Done.
Sweet as. What other decisions?
Well, we had a good conversation the other day when we were talking about like what I wanted to do for my won't go into details right now, but just for my business and home life.
Mm.
And I was pretty fucked up about it. When you were talking, you're like, whoa, what's going on here? This doesn't even sound like you.
Yeah. Yeah, you sounded like a puddle, a really sad
Yeah.
puddle.
Yeah, but that's how it gets. That's like I was talking to you through it, but that's what like the internal stuff was like. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I was letting it out to you,
Yeah.
but that's what it's like in my head, and not just from decisions like that, but multiple other decisions, especially bigger ones.
Mm.
So
Do you often, once you've made one decision, does your mind start thinking about or find something else to make a decision about?
sorry, I'm just looking. I feel like that's a yes. I
Yeah.
feel like then it makes the decision about the decision, like what
Yeah.
the next decision is about the decision, if that
Oh
makes
my
sense.
gosh. Oh my
It's a
gosh.
fucking fun time over here, Britt.
Taylor,
It's a
you're like,
fucking fun time.
you are addicted to abusing yourself mentally. Like, and I do it. Remember, I've just been going
Mm,
through like this emotional
mm,
addiction thing. And,
yep.
and the reason it's why I asked you, because I caught myself having thoughts just to have thoughts so that I could get the chemical reaction from my body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I went to Michael to do the hypno, because I couldn't sleep. Because that's what would happen before bed was I would spend 2 hours ruminating over things I did in the past, things that happened yesterday, things that could happen. Like it was exhausting and I couldn't sleep. That's why I went and saw him to begin with. Because that's what my brain
Yeah.
would do for 2 hours before bed every night.
Wow. And so you're just doing this in daylight
Mm,
hours.
mm.
So you can see that now?
Yeah, I can. And I didn't realize what it was until you said it though.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
just, we're
Yeah.
told like it's overthink. Like I always have known I'm an overthinker, but now I
Yeah.
get the like biological. There's a chemical release that's happening, and that's what I'm addicted to. So you
Yeah.
want to like pull it back more. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I've always known I'm an overthinker, and like that's the anxious. I guess
Mm.
that's the anxiety
Yeah.
that that we're labeled with.
I think when
But
we call it overthinking and we relate to ourselves as an overthinker, we then
mm,
relate to ourselves as that fixed way
yeah,
rather than going, I do this. I think
mm,
about things and then I find more things to keep thinking about and more things after I've thought about those things and more things and more things and more things, whilst
mm,
I don't actually need to be doing that.
no, no, you're just looking for things. Well, it's same with kind of just sitting down and not doing anything, right? Like just sitting in quiet, you
But
know?
that's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it is, but I find it uncomfortable because my
Yeah,
brain, like, so I have to be doing something. So if I'm not physically doing something, then I guess my brain likes to do something, which is sit in my thoughts, right?
correct.
So
Keep
if I'm,
thinking about
yeah,
things.
yeah. Wow, that's annoying. But at least I know what it is now.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
It's fucking annoying. Yeah. I didn't like when you were sharing with me the emotional addiction kind of stuff that we were talking about the other day. I got what you were saying, and I was like, oh, I do have that, but I didn't get like where. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. You're like,
Like
where's my
I was
thing?
like, yeah. Like, what is it? What am I? Because you and I have so many similarities. When you like come to me with like, oh, this is like where this is what I've discovered. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Did you have to see that one? Because
Yeah, like it's so awesome. And like now I'm gonna spend the next week ruminating over it and looking at it in my life.
yeah, but it's great because a
You know.
couple of days later, you're like,
Yes.
I'm so glad you shared that with me because I see how I do. Da 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 da. Yeah,
Well, it's like the
cool. Eh?
entitlement thing, right? We had a conversation about that, about
Yeah.
me being that way, and then you like called me like, "Fuck now, I got it. I got that thing you got."
Yes.
It's like contagious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm finally seeing it. Whoa.
Mm.
And I even stopped myself from like trying to play it down because sometimes I noticed I was like trying to be better than you or have a competition with you to be like, oh, mine's not as bad as yours or mine's bigger than yours or like.
Yeah. Like it's a fight for entitlement.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're entitled about being. We're so fun. We're just so
Entitled about
great.
being entitled.
We want to be the winners. We're
Yeah.
not competitive at all.
If for anyone who hasn't listened to our last episode, it's about entitlement. You should definitely go back and listen to it.
It is a banger. I would definitely listen. There's some juicy shit in there. Yeah, there's some juicy stuff.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, really good.
If we do say so
Something
ourselves.
I do say so myself. Something that I was listening to. I'm going a little bit off topic here, but it was because you said like when I say things, then you're like, oh, now I've finally seen my bit. I was listening to a podcast with a guy called Warwick Schiller, who's a horse trainer, and a lady called Elsa somebody, and I discovered how I do this behavior to try and get Nathan to tell me what to do or look after me. And she was sharing how she was doing a demonstration with this horse at an exhibition, and she's turned to the crowd and she said, this horse is trying to get me to tell her what to do. It wants me to dominate it. And sure enough, 5 minutes later, the horse finds the one thing in this pen that it shouldn't do, which is chew the electric wire. So she has to go and deal with it and tell it like not to do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's me. That was me. That was me. Like finding anything just to get the reaction, get the response.
Like a toddler. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You're not giving them attention. Sorry, I'm not trying to say you're a toddler, but that's behaviors.
It's exactly. So it comes in many different forms. Seeing the stuff. Okay, so what now? So I'll share some of the things that I do about this indecision. If I where I am noticing, if I notice myself say something like, "Oh, would you like to do blah blah blah?" I either stop mid sentence or I finish the sentence and then I go, "Actually, I would like this. Would you like this?"
Yeah, cool. Yeah, catching yourself. I like it.
Yeah, I just stop and repeat myself, and like it's not a big deal to do that. Like people often very soon forget. It's only you that remembers what you say. So that's my main action that I've been taking around this. Yeah, what about you? What are you going to do, Taylor?
No, I'm going to do the same. Now that I've seen it and like in real life, it's not just a theory, but it's actually the same. I want to do that because I didn't even think about like, when you're sharing plates, going, oh, would you like to go halves, rather than saying, I want to go halves. Would you like, do you want to go halves as well? Like, even doing that is not making a decision.
When
How
by
you talking
saying
about your tuna?
yeah,
Your tuna steak
sorry,
sharing.
yeah. So like just saying, would you like to go halves is not making a decision. It's not
Mm.
communicating
Mm.
your decision
Correct.
or request or ask. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the way you said it just
So
then is
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was like highlighting to me just those small things as well that I want to try and catch. Obviously, I may not catch them all, but it's definitely something I want to try. I think the more this is like a little theory I'm coming to. Maybe like the more decisions you make, the more trustworthy you become of yourself, and the easier it'll become.
I reckon so. Yeah.
Yeah, like the more it was something that I actually read in Nicole LePera's book, that How to Do the Work, and her
Yeah.
second one, Meeting Yourself. What's the second one that I should have finished by now and haven't.
The second one, but we're reading the third one, which is How to Be the
Oh, the
Love You
third one.
Seek.
Yes,
Yeah.
sorry, apologies. I meant that one.
Yeah.
She talked about like, because not trusting yourself is common. This isn't like a bizarre thing that we're discussing.
Yeah.
And she talked about like keeping one promise to yourself daily to like start that kind of trusting yourself process. And she was like, and nothing like massive, nothing, like really out there. She's like, having a glass of water each day.
Yeah.
Or like, doing 5 minutes of meditation, not 20, just like 5 minutes of meditation, or journaling, or whatever it is, but like something every day that you can do that's small, and then you like add to it once that's become like a habit.
It's in her first book, How to Do the Work. Yeah. I remember that.
Which I thought was,
it's really good.
Yeah, that was an interesting take on it, which is probably something I should adopt, actually, now that this has come to light how big it is. I think that would probably be a great way, on top of doing the stopping mid and catch yourself.
Yeah, for sure. In 2021, I decided that I was going to run 5 kilometers every day for a month.
Yes, I do remember this. Yes.
Yeah. And I think there was 2 to 3 days in that 30 days that I didn't run.
And
that's
amazing.
For me, that was extraordinary. Like before that, I'd never known myself as someone who could run 5 days every day. Like I think the longest stretch that I did without breaking it was 2 weeks. Like I just it just became this thing that I just fit in between other things, and I was excited for it, and I really enjoyed it. And like I'd be like, I'd come back and I'd be like, oh, I got this cool insight on my run, or I broke through this, or it was phenomenal. Like, and so if you really want to like, and I get 5Ks is a really big promise to make to yourself every day. And I was really sick of myself at that point. It was a very big turning point for me. But yeah, I just had this like a lot of confidence in myself. I had a really like a stronger relationship to myself, respected myself, believed I could do hard things. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Good on you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay, cool. So what thing do you think you want to take on every day? This is where you make a commitment.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it really simple and just have a glass of water in the morning before I have my coffee, because I don't drink enough water as it is. So I'm going to do that.
So one
and have a glass
of water
before
your coffee every day.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Ooh, big stuff over here.
Whoa. All right. Is there anything else you want to chat about?
No, I think like this was great. I think we can feel happy to wrap it up.
All right. Well, look, thank you everyone for listening to us chat and share I hope that you got something valuable for yourself out of this, because usually that's what happens, is you hear other people's stories and you're like, oh, yeah, I do that thing too. And it's not such a big deal. So yeah, thanks for allowing us to share what we want to share and be a self-expression in the world. And it would mean a lot to us and to the success of the podcast. If you do like it, please leave a review and share it with your friends. All right, bye for now.